Right, so now we're going to check out a C major chord, or a C chord as it's known. Essentially looks like this. It's basically like a wee line going sort of up and down the way like that. We're using our first, second and third fingers. Now the first finger, again we go into the second string from the bottom, first fret. Again, keep it nice and tight to the fret here. And then our second finger, or middle finger, would basically go on our fourth string on the second fret, just there, again, close to the wee bar there. And then our third finger would basically go on the fifth string, third fret, as close to the bar again as we can. Now, it's quite easy to accidentally mute the strings. Everything below here, we could mute like that string. And then this finger could mute the one below that, this finger could mute the one below that. So what we need to make sure is that we're using, again, a nice sort of curl in our hands, and that we're using the tips of our fingers right in the tips. Bend those sort of fingers so that you're basically getting a good sort of grip, and just using the tips so that you avoid the muting of the strings. So we'll give it a strum, but we're playing from the fifth down to the first. We're ignoring the thickest string, the sixth string, for the moment. So we're just playing down the way it should sound like. Nice bright chord, C chord. Just have this pinky out the way, it's not actually doing anything, it looks as if it was on a string there. Again, if you're hearing muting of the fourth string, it's your third finger that's in the way here. Just make sure you've got a nice thing, and the same with this as well. If you're hearing muting on the, which is probably more common, I would say there's more chance of you muting the third string with that finger there. That would be the one to look out for. Just keep it, basically it's nice and curled, nice, just right on the tip of it. And the first finger, again, you could actually go either way. I've seen basically people muting the first string and muting the third string as well. Well, not well, either or basically. So make sure you're not, the sort of bottom string, make sure that's not getting muted. And again, with the sort of nail side of your finger, make sure you're not muting the third string either. So nice and, what I used to teach to the sort of younger kids, a really basic C, was basically just that on its own, playing the bottom three strings. If you're having trouble with muting any of the strings when you're playing the full chord, maybe revert back to just the one finger, just to make sure that none of them are getting touched. And then once you've basically mastered not muting any of them, get your other fingers back on. So again, first finger, second string, first fret, second finger, fourth string, second fret, and third finger, fifth string, third fret. Now there is a variation on this which I use quite often, and it's not technically a C major chord, but it is heavily used by most guitarists, and it's actually a C/G, which basically means a C major chord or a C chord with a G bass. Now the bass chords are generally the sort of thicker strings, that's basically just gives it a bass note, if you like a bass guitar. And one of the versions we do is this, because what it then means is you can actually strum all 6 strings, you don't need to be that careful. Whereas with that, you basically, you could mute the 6th string with this finger. You would need to basically do that. Mute this sort of 6th string with that finger if you wanted to basically not be too careful. So if we play it that way, and then if I play it this way, it just gives it that wee sort of more fullness. So essentially what you would be doing is swapping the third finger placement with your pinky. Yeah. So the pinky would now be on your 5th string, 3rd fret, and then you would use this third finger to go into the 6th string. Okay, so that's up the 6th string, 3rd fret. So it's like that. It's just basically, if you're looking at my hands when you're looking at some of the songs, I'm saying a C and it doesn't look like that, then generally it's because I'm playing basically a G bass, if you like. because it sounds very similar. Again, C chord, just like all the other chords, pluck each individual string, make sure they're ringing out, there's no fuzz. If there's fuzz on it, good chance that you're not close enough to the fretboard, or you're slightly touching it with another finger. So just move the fingers about to suit. And again, if you're really finding it hard to get this one, it's not that bad, I don't think, but even practice just using that one finger at first if you find that your problems lie in this sort of region of the guitar, the sort of buzzing or the muting, then just use the one finger first off before putting the other ones on, and basically concentrate that way first before you develop the chord. And again, once you've got it, fingers off and then start again, first, second, third, strum, pluck, first, second, third, strum, pluck, and back off, and keep practicing that. C chord's a great chord for wee progressions and wee licks and things like that, you know, the 6s, 7s, all this sort of stuff. So give it a good practice, and hopefully you'll get it quite quickly, and you can move on to the next chord, and we'll basically put in a couple of chord progressions and some songs. Okay, well, thanks for that. Cheers. Bye.